What's up, motivators? Taren here with Joanne Courtney,
Hey.
a world champion curler, Olympian, who just raced her first triathlon yesterday here at the PTO Canadian Open. And it being 26 hours since your first race finish, we are going to have 8 tips specifically for beginner triathletes from a beginner triathlete who just killed her race yesterday. We're gonna have some training tips and racing tips. My name is Taren Gazelle. In my 20s, I was overweight, unfulfilled, and couldn't even run to the end of the block. Over the following years, I found endurance sports, lost 65 pounds, won age groups, raced world championships, broke records, and trained and learned from some of the best athletes and coaches in the world. You too can use endurance sports to change your life and accomplish your fitness goals. You just need a system that's meant for us amateurs who want to be our best while feeling our strongest and healthiest. My company Motive offers that system, and I want to share some of the tips from it today. All right, Joanne, first tip is...
Be disciplined with your efforts. The easy efforts have to be super easy. It's really boring because those easy efforts are often really long, but you need to stay disciplined with the zone 2 stuff. And when I say being disciplined with the efforts, I also mean be disciplined when it's intense. Those tough, shorter workouts need to be really, really hard. I had a lot of workouts where I came very close to almost throwing up, and I think it helped me out a lot on race day.
So why is it so important to have that big difference? What did you find helped?
Well, the research says when you go almost to your body's limit, that 9 or 10 out of 10, that's how your body is going to improve. And I saw, like in 2 months only, particularly my run. Like I've never really biked a lot or swam, but I've done some running, I've done some half marathons, and I can't believe what happened to my pace. I've never ran as fast as I did yesterday, like in a race ever. I've done a couple halves and I know kind of where I was in those halves, and I was way faster than that yesterday after doing a swim and a bike.
And I would add that the low intensity work allows you to hit those high intensity efforts really hard. It's not just about doing low intensity work for the sake of it, it's to set you up for those high intensity efforts.
Yeah, and that's kind of just trusting the science. Like I haven't done a lot of biking, and a lot of the long bikes are really, really easy. And part of me just has to put my faith in that and saying, you know what, this is what the science is saying, and I'm not gonna go kill it for a 2.5-hour bike ride today. I'm just gonna take it easy.
Tip number 2.
Number 2 is find the positives in your training. There's gonna be a million things to work on at all times, especially as a beginner. I know for myself, with the swim, I always am gonna be super hard on myself because I'm very, very new to it. So getting out of the pool every day instead of just feeling bummed every time I didn't finish a workout or I needed to put fins on or it just was ugly out there, I really needed to focus on the fact that progress was being made and trying to celebrate those small wins. I remember the first day that I swam for 300 meters, I was like self-high-fiving as I was leaving the pool because I felt so proud. Meanwhile, there's like real teenagers who competitively swim who are next to me and just flip turning and everything, but trying to keep that out of my periphery and enjoying the process and enjoying those positives was really big for me.
Tip number 3.
Okay, when it gets tough in your training, find a cue word that you can lean on. So this is something I picked up in my curling career. For the big games, when the pressure was on, I always had 1 or 2 words that I could kind of go to that would set my mind and help me refocus. So in those intense efforts, in the tough parts of training, if you can come up with something that you can play in your brain, it's a phrase or a word or a thought or something to visualize, I find that really helped me push through in my training efforts and not just kind of stop and give up. And it can be different for every discipline. Like for the run, we did an intense workout when I came out to train with you, and you said
strong is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yeah, and then it's funny because I'll be in my runs and I'll be saying it, and I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's those 3 words: strong, smooth, and fast. And it cues my body in, and it just would get me to the end of the workout. Meanwhile, the swim, those are not my words.
What are some of the other words that you used?
In my swim, it was always calm and slow. The bike was more stay alive, don't fall off.
Don't fall off.
Yeah.
Tip number 4.
Listen to your body. If you need a rest day, don't feel guilty about taking it.
So into that.
So I'm an age group triathlete. I don't do this professionally. There are a lot of hours that you spend training, but I'm also a nurse that works shift work. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I like to, have friends sometimes, see my family, enjoy the summer, have a beer. So I found particularly after about 6 weeks of really staying dedicated to every single workout and ticking it off those boxes, I was just hitting a point where I felt like I couldn't fit everything in. I didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. before work, 3 or 4 days of the week. And I took the foot off the gas a little bit, and I skipped a couple workouts a week for a few weeks. And it didn't feel...
You still did okay.
It didn't feel great though at the time, but I had to kind of reset my mind and realize like I'm not a professional at this. I'm an age group triathlete. I'm doing this for fun because I want to, and if this is what I need right now, that's okay.
Rounding it out with tip number 5.
Find the joy in your training. For me, the joy in swimming is when it's over. I have a great skincare regimen. The hair care is fantastic, and I always feel refreshed coming out of the pool, so that's the best part there. I love going fast on my bike when I can. That feeling is exhilarating. And then the run, I love being outside and having the sun and the fresh air on my face. So finding those little keys that make you enjoy it, because if you're going to spend every single day training, it's got to be fun. If it's a grind, you're doing something wrong.
This is coming from somebody who's known as one of the hardest workers in curling. Still taking that winning mindset to another sport and having balance as a world champion is like, I love hearing that, because you know how to win. You know how to succeed at something. You succeeded very well yesterday, and doing that amidst balance and a few beers and some wines, that's great. More people need to do that. Okay, so now let's get into the racing tips. Tip number 6, the first racing tip would be what?
So I started every leg slower than I wanted to. My biggest goal for the race was to complete it, and I had points in every part, like every discipline and every workout where I had to quit because I went too hard. So I really wanted to pace myself and make sure that I completed. I'd prefer to know that maybe I could have tried or gone a little harder, but I finished, versus I went too hard and I had to stop. So in the swim, for example, I wasn't bolting into the water. I'm a really new swimmer, so I actually let everyone go, and I just started on my own once everyone had kind of gone ahead of me. And I thought the first half of the swim went like really well. I ran into trouble once we turned around that buoy, and like all of a sudden I was around people, but we made it through.
Yeah, and every single discipline, what we wanted to do was really ease into the race, so you could start judging how much is too much, because the places that you can go really wrong in your first race are when you go too hard and your heart rate gets too high and you start freaking out. So it's that easing into it so you can get close to your limit and then maybe back off a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great thing that happened to me 2 weeks before this race. I totally blew up on my brick run. I got off my bike and it said run at race pace for 30 minutes. And I was like, sweet, let's see how fast I am. I've had all these awesome like intense intervals, like maybe I'm just a sprinter now. And I got off my bike and I took off, and I completely blew up after about 15 minutes. I was able to hang on for 5 more, but I had to stop. I had no choice.
But that's part of the training, to get there and know, okay, this is too much.
Yeah, so I was super, super disciplined on race day because I did not want to have to walk it in.
Tip number 7. Tip number 7.
So delirious still.
We're leaving that in.
Brain work. Tip number 7 is to plan out your race. So one of the reasons I got into triathlon is because I think transition is the coolest thing. Like, I've done some running where you just start the race, you run, you end the race. I love watching triathletes come out of the water, they're all wet, and they get to their bike and off they go. But I wanted to have a really good plan as to how to do that, because the faster you do that, the cooler you feel. So I had a really good plan for exactly what had to happen from the water to the bike, once I got to my bike, once I got out of the gates. And I felt like that plan actually kept me really grounded in the race. Like, the swim was nerve-wracking. I was middle to back of the pack getting out of the water, but instead of being like, oh, I'm tired.
Middle, be better at confidence, Joanne. Middle.
But instead of thinking, oh, I'm tired, oh, this, my brain immediately went to, okay, what's next? What's my next step? And I stayed really grounded in that. And I felt like it helped me feel a lot more comfortable on race day, given that I'd never done it before.
Yeah, and you had great transitions, like in and out.
And I felt like a boss. Like, it felt so cool. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing triathlon right now. It's happening.
Tip number 8.
Enjoy race day. So I talk about enjoying training, finding the joy. This is what we train for. This is what we play for, so it should be fun. So finding a way to work through the nerves, to work through the tough stuff. Maybe you're not having the best race, maybe you're struggling with something. It doesn't matter. Like, this is why we're here, and it's so fun to be able to take a step back and just celebrate all your progress and the success. And if there's learning points, cool. But this is why we do it, is for race day. So have some fun.
And we didn't plan this, but we matched today. So if you want to get the training that Joanne used, she actually used our Motive training app. She isn't just wearing the gear. She used that exclusively. And there's a link in the description below to where you can check that out for a free trial. And then if you like it, stick around and go follow Joanne. There's a link to her Instagram in the description below. Good job. So proud of you.
Thanks so much, Taren. It's a great coach. Really great coach.
Stop.